So here in my hands a court paper from Hamburg court, and I try to read something from it. It says, Beschluss Antragsstellung Antragsgegner. Anyway, I was never a good German speaker, so I'm not trying to read it. But I'm trying to tell you what is in it. So it says, the Technical University of Wildau, represented by Professor Dr. Julie Tippe, with her law firm, Goerg, sued me and my company in Hamburg. And the decision is about I'm prohibited from saying things like TH Wildau is a corrupt school and their president is a scammer. Or they will fine me up to 250,000 euro. Oh, by the way, this decision was made by urgency without hearing of the opposite side, which is me. And if I have problems with the decision, I must hire a German lawyer. And I cannot contact the German court by email because that is not accepted practice in Germany. So I made this video just to let you remember back what happened between us as a German state-funded university and a private small company. Enjoy it. Have you remembered the contract between my company and this German state school, TH Wildau, from 2014? The most important elements of this agreement were: number one, we as the agent, we are working to promote, build, represent, and manage the business of TH Wildau with Chinese local universities, local governments, institutes, enterprise, and individual partners, which means their university handed over all these rights to my company. Obligations from our side were: number one, we must act within the legal frame of local laws and regulations in People's Republic of China. Number two, to promote the study and the training programs of TH Wildau in People's Republic China continuously. Number three, we were obligated to find new business opportunities for them. Number four, provide information for them. Number five, we should act by the guidance of them and German Federal Republic Ministry of Education and Research, which in other names BMBF. Meanwhile, their obligations were: number one, provide actual and updated, marketable, and attractive study training programs for my company for the Chinese market. Number two, they were obligated to support my company technically and provide all necessary information. Number three, they were obligated to support my company financially if we are delegated by them to manage and develop specific cases. Number four, they must not involve any third party to represent the same content written in the goals and objectives, except if we as agent giving our consent by written. Number five, consideration. They agreed to pay commissions to my company according to a separate agreement by written. And this contract may be terminated before the expiry date by two modes. The first one was mutual consent, Both parties agreed to end the current contract by written. And the second one was, if the agent works directly against local laws or regulations of the People's Republic of China. With this contract, they should inform us about all of their running projects in China, and without our written consent, they should terminate all of their cooperations with Chinese partners. This includes their running cooperation in Hangzhou, Chongqing, Beijing, and anywhere in China. And it's important to remark that this contract was not signed secretly. I sent the draft of the agreement to the president of TH Wildau, Professor Ungwari. He had all the time in the world to review this important agreement or show it to his law expert like his deputy Professor Peter York. And just to show how I was in good faith with this German school, I even translated the draft into the Hungarian language just to let Professor Ungwari to know what exactly he is undersigning, because he was good in Russian, German, and Hungarian languages, but not in English. And in 2014, there were several business requests from China. And one request came from our business partner, who is a lawyer of Dendens, American law firm. A Chinese businessman wanted to receive representative rights from the German Porsche Group. They had a 10 million Chinese yuan in the bank account to arrange this business. So I talked about this business opportunity with Professor Ungwari, and he claimed that he has a good connection with the car industry of Germany. And I had reasons to believe him because they must have connected with German car companies. And in one of his messages, he even claimed that to arrange this business, he needs to nominate one of the big Porsche bosses as TH Wildau honorary doctors. I was really happy about it because it seemed that it's a German thing and one of the big Porsche bosses is willing to make a deal with our partners. And because from 2014 November 5, we are already the official agent of this German school, so we even had the obligation to find business opportunities for their school. The stake was big. It's about 3 million Chinese yuan for my company if we can help them to arrange these rights from the German Porsche Group. Meanwhile, the president of TH Wildau could become official advisor for this private Chinese company with a 5,000 euro per month honorarium. And I really don't know whether it has connected with the president's summer-autumn surgical intervention, but before he arrived in China, he messaged me about will I take him to a Chinese massage salon when his colleague and his vice president, Professor Jörg Peter, is not there. I almost got a cold shock. Prostitution in China is illegal. He asked me to arrange a thing which may end up in a Chinese jail for up to 15 days. Have you remembered what I mentioned in part 1? And if this is not enough, some weeks after, he sent me a message again, which is about he wants to be sure that a 5,000 euro cash will be waiting for him in China. And the reason for this is because he is in need. In 2014, when Professor Ungwari and Professor Jörg arrived in China Kunming, I put 5,000 euro cash in Professor Ungwari's hand. And I told him, when you return to Germany, you do what you want, but not here in China. Because of I couldn't trust these Germans won't do any illegal things, I was the driver for him and his vice president during their visit. I really feared that these two Germans would make something illegal, and in the end, they get me into trouble. And Professor Ungwari, as the president of TH Wildau and also as the Porsche representative person, went to meet our business partners. He signed as the advisor for the Chinese company. I tried my best to arrange some programs for them just to let this visit finish fast. And here, let me remark, maybe it's because in my childhood I received a Christian education, and I have to say, I just never wished to visit a German massage salon when I was in Berlin. From that moment, I really started to rethink whether my company should keep this business relationship with TH Wildau as a state university in Germany. Chancellor Merkel here or there, the way how these Germans make businesses is just too disgusting for me. I actually started to imagine if a German public university's president starts to do this, then how Chancellor Merkel was doing her business anyway. Nevertheless, it's just the beginning of my company's cooperation with this German state-funded institution. But I think if then Ungvari could arrange this Porsche business for me, I may end this business relationship with Germans very soon. After this Chinese visit, I never heard anything from Ungvari about his big boss Porsche friend, and I started to feel that I'm dealing not with professor doctors, but with a bunch of criminals. Meanwhile, Ungvari acted as this case has never happened. I had to give an explanation to Denton's lawyer and this Chinese company, and I can say that actually the Angela Merkel's colleague, Professor Ungvari, is a scammer because it will kill my company. After this case, inside me, all those legends about strict, high-quality European Germany are gone. And just let you know how flippant was this school's German professor doctors. Under this Chinese visit in 2014, I took Ungvari and Jörg to a Chinese university in city of Nanchang. Meanwhile, I was deadly serious as the representative of this German state university. I even asked a Chinese school to place a big German flag during the meeting. This Ungvari and his deputy Jörg started to make jokes with the Chinese school's communist secretary about that he knows Bavaria is actually not a part of Germany because they come from Berlin and they are the true Germans. The communist secretary looked at me with an embarrassing smile as he wanted to say where these monkeys come from. And slowly more surprise came into my face as earlier as 2015. With one email, I have mentioned it to his colleague, which is a private company in Berlin and worked as a right hand for Professor Ungvari. I mentioned him that from 2014 we entered into a contractual relationship with TH Wildau. But surprisingly, Mr. Ingo Eric Smith, in one email, asked me to show this contract because, as he said, he knows nothing about it. My mind was blowing, and the nightmare for my private company has just started.